What is up, Knights? So welcome back to another episode of Thought Factory. Again, this is where I watch Inside Star Citizen, the latest one normally, and we kind of just watch it together, and I tell you my thoughts and my opinions on it. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Hey everybody. In our last episode,
Welcome back, Jared.
We wanted to mix things up and take a sneak peek ahead at something coming your way while we're out on hiatus. It's the next concept ship from industrial powerhouse MISC and the first dedicated refinery craft of its kind.
Uh-oh.
Let's take a look.
Whoa, hang on.
Quite a few ships already in the MISC manufacturer lineup.
You have the Prospector, you have the Starfarer,
Whole series.
but we wanted to have dedicated entry-level ship into the refining gameplay career for ship owners. The MISC Expanse fills a great hole in the
MISC
gameplay
Expanse
loop of the entire mining refining cycle, because currently you go out to the far reaches of space, you mine some rocks, you fill up your capacity, then you yourself have to trek all the way back to the grain station or somewhere like that to refine, and then you have to trek all the way back to go continue mining, whereas the Expanse can be the middleman
whoa,
where-
let's pause it here. What is this? Ooh, that looks cool. That looks really cool. So this is called the MISC Expanse. Wow. That's awesome. So I don't know what this is here. Let's kind of break it down. I know that we've got our little saddlebags for the. So this is just a refinery ship, right? We'll learn more, I'm sure. Okay, let's just continue. This looks bad.
You take on board mined goods, you processes it, and then you can either sell it yourself or you can transfer it back to a cargo ship and they complete the whole gameplay loop.
Now that's concept art, so
Is
could change.
the starter ship in the sort of refinery tier. We have refineries on other ships such as the Starfarer, but they're more specialised into purely doing fuel, where the Expanse has a bonus over them. Is it has what we call reactors on them, and at a very simplistic level, one reactor is one refinery process, and the Expanse has 6 of them on board, so it allows you to potentially do 6 entirely different refinery processes simultaneously, or for maximum output. You can
Pretty
do
looking
6
ship. Almost looks like a Starfarer, but not.
improve your bandwidth, so to speak, of refinery. We picked MISC because it sort of fits that industrial aesthetic.
You've got the rounded front nose of the ship, but then what you'll notice is you've got the well, not massive, but you've got the big shoulders, and that's also on the Starfarer, and so we wanted to keep that. So it's sort of basically big airflow, big intakes, straight into an engine, and then back out. When people look at the back, there are certain visual elements there that you'll see that are common throughout the ship manufacturers. You know, it's sort of the ball engine.
You can definitely tell it's a MISC ship.
Defined fins,
Definitely. It's got that
surround
Starfarer look to it as well.
And also, the other sort of main feature is the 8 pods. There are 4 on either side. It really
So the
gives
saddlebags.
a unique look and silhouette. There's no mistaking this ship.
So looks like the ramps in the front. Obviously you got your landing gear, you got your saddlebags again, or your pods, if that's what you call them. I wish we had like an inside diagram more. That's the pilot seat here. Again, they said this is the starter, so it's like a starter of refinery. So I wonder how long it'll take to refine. Are these going to be as quick as the space station refineries, or is it going to take longer? With it being so compact, I would think that it would probably take longer to refine, but maybe not, because of the, you would think that the station refineries, everyone goes to them, so maybe, they have to split up the refine process between, 20 people or 30 people or 40 or 50 people, right as of right now, because the servers can only hold about 50 people. Yeah, so I don't know.
People might be familiar already with sort of MISC interiors are generally sort of a letterbox.
The dashboard
kind of viewpoint.
MISC always have a huge dashboard that you can sleep on.
You've got that basically when you're sat in the pilot seat. You've got all your instrumentation laid out in front of you. It's all quite sleek.
That's pretty. I like that. That's cool.
It's still sort of quite compact because it is a one-man ship. Leading from the cockpit.
So it's a one-man ship. Wow.
It'll take you into just a small living section. So bed, locker, that kind of stuff. And then,
you don't need a bed on a MISC though. You got your dashboard. You just hop up on your dashboard, go to sleep. No, but obviously, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of room to move around this ship because it's it's going to be taken up mostly by the refinery. So I would expect only a small living quarters.
Progressing to the rear of the ship is just a really small sort of like operations room, basically, where you can.
Another thing. So before they can, I guess before they can really bring this in, and it be functional, they're going to have to get those side pods to come off, right? Like, how the Mole and the Prospector, they have the side saddlebags. So surely they would have to detach so that you can attach them to the Expanse. That way it can refine. Or maybe, I'm not sure how that's gonna happen. I would think, you would be able to hook up like the Prospector or the Mole, like hook it up with a hose to the refinery on the Expanse, and then just transfer the materials out of those saddlebags and straight into the Expanse. To me, that seems like it would be, a more feasible option than just taking off the saddlebags and hooking them up to the Expanse. Maybe the Expanse saddlebags are just, I don't know. I don't. We'll have to see how this works.
Interface with the refinery section, and there's a little window there, and you can sort of see through into the gubbins, and you'll have a little bit of a display that you'll be able to do some of your interaction with. It's split level, so to get out of the ship, basically you'll enter into a really sort of compact and bijou lift, or an elevator, as some people say. That'll take you down to the lower floor. Jared, you might want to call it the ground floor. And then outside down a ramp, basically. So quite small. I mean, I think the ship is.
It's not really that small of a ship, but it does look cool.
It's a niche role, and it's not
a cool looking ship.
Every player, but I think as a ship and as an owner, I think people are really going to like it. I think they're probably going to sort of really start to gel with it. It's got a lot of personality, I would say, and I hope that people A, will enjoy what it does, but B, will also sort of enjoy the visuals of the ship and just flying around in it and just having that sort of one man.
I'm watching this and I can't help but look in the corner. Is that a real dog? What, or is that like a taxidermy? What is that? Has it moved? I haven't even looked and seen if this dog has moved. But it's got a call, anyways.
And support experience.
Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
The MISC Expanse is the first dedicated refinery ship for Star Citizen. An ideal place for beginners looking to start making their way in this career, intended partner of the Prospector mining vehicle, and you can learn more about it in the coming weeks on the robertsspaceindustries.com website. But up next, Alpha 317 is right around the corner, so here's a look at many of the new features, updates, and bug fixes on their way with the
and extremely buggy from what I understand.
The big mammer jammer, the main event, the headliner, ship-to-ship player refueling. This new support profession makes its debut in the upcoming Alpha 317 with a new and exciting user interface allowing players to fuel up their Starfarer.
That still blows me away. That's awesome.
Head out into the verse, make an agreement for a type of fuel and price, hook up using the docking interface you may already be familiar with, and then don't forget to manage the flow properly. Now,
from what I understand right now, when 317 comes out, the boom arm right there doesn't retract or anything. I think I'm not sure if it just appears or if it's always just sticking out. Hopefully they get that to working, but from what I understand, the boom arm is not going to work immediately on 317 release. It's either going to be there or it's just maybe going to appear there. I'm not sure, but that's kind of a bummer. Hopefully they get it fixed. But I did hear that Starfarer was redone a little bit. I'm not sure what all was redone on it. But we'll have to see.
This step is the crucial difference between a satisfied customer and an unfortunate repair bill.
Wow.
Ship-to-ship refueling arrives along with the rebalancing of fuel efficiencies and the removal of temporary fuel scoops from many spacecraft.
So I'm gonna need some people who know how to fuel. That way, when I'm running my Starfarer, you guys don't blow us up or whatever. So yeah, but yeah, we need to watch out for that.
To change life in the verse from this point forward.
I don't think you're fixing that.
Disco, that's not the biggest feature in Alpha 317, you may be saying. Who are you, my boss? I'm talking about my boss. Maybe the biggest feature of Alpha 317 is the dynamite combination of loot generation updates and selling, where a wide array of new items, some formerly found in shops, some from the depths of Star Citizen's history, and some entirely brand new.
Now, I talked about this last time. What they're doing is they're taking the items, some of the higher end items, they're taking them out of the shops, and they're making it to where you can only find them by loot. So you're going to have to go out and look for them. I think that was not I don't like that. I think it was stupid. It's not a good decision in my opinion. I think that what they should have done is made, when you go out and loot, you find special items, maybe different cosmetics, different cosmetic items, or, maybe special items with different names that maybe look a little bit different. I think they should have done that. But again, this is still a work in progress. So what they might do is, they just took these out just to give some sort of gameplay to loot, instead of just finding med pens and some of the smaller things. It's like, why go looking for loot if you can just buy it in the shop? But hopefully they expand on that a little bit more.
New to the persistent universe can now be discovered during your travels, and then, along with a huge selection of items and resources you're already familiar with, now successfully be sold to vendors, allowing you finally to find your fates and fortunes while foraging the fantastic, fabled frontiers of favor and find.
This should not have taken this long to get out. Selling stuff back to the vendors should have been an immediate thing. I don't understand why this is taking so long. I don't get it, but just again, my opinion. So we're looking at some of the prices here. Defiance Legs Tactical. So I guess that's some of the items that you can only find loot maybe. But we're looking at about 879 AUC. These prices really aren't that much. So, is it really going to be worth spending, all this time, finding this loot? It's to be determined or be decided. Is it worth it to you? Maybe it's just you're getting the adventure experience out of it, or just the new gaming mechanic out of it, the enjoyment. But But as of right now, you know, these prices don't look like they're mind blowing. You know, maybe if you go around just looting bodies, I'm hoping they make it where you can sell those stupid gowns that you get in the medical facilities, because everybody drops those gowns everywhere, and even if it's like 5 UEC, you know, that's going to add up just going around, you know, cleaning up these gowns and taking them to here and selling them. That would be kind of good, because I'm sick and tired of seeing boxes everywhere.
I'm gonna get fired. Or maybe the biggest news of Alpha 3.17 is the first integration of quantum running things under the hood.
God.
The prices of several commodities, not all at first, will now be controlled by the massive simulation bunderkin we've been talking about for some time. It's exciting times ahead.
Now, from what I understand, quantum is, again, it's like kind of like a almost player-based. It's the start of the player-based economy, where prices are going to change depending on, you know, who's selling what. And that's going to be amazing, because in the future, you know, obviously, Quantanium right now is the end-all be-all. You know, that's what you want to get. You want to get Quantanium. But in the future, what's going to happen is, you know, if all the players are selling nothing but Quantanium, prices are going to drop from Quantanium. And the materials that are not being mined are going to go up in price. So like diamonds or aluminum or whatever, they're going to go up in price. And I cannot wait till we get to that point.
Also in Alpha 3.17 are a host of new additions and updates for medical gameplay, including the arrival of Maria Pure of Heart in Lorville, new space station clinic variations on stations throughout the Stanton system, and balance adjustments and bug fixes to bleeding out, insta-death, injury occurrence,
basically what this is showing, and that was in one of my videos, one of the previous Inside Star Citizens, is I don't know if it's random or what, but there's going to be times where you may be able to jump off of, you know, the same height and land, and you may be okay. And there may be instances where you jump off of the same height and you land and you die. So it's, you know, kind of going to be random. So you're taking a chance when you're, you know, making a decision like that. So do I jump off here and do I take a chance of dying, or do I jump off here and take a chance of, you know, living, or, you know, let me weigh my options here.
player status not persisting through logging, hunger and thirst decay rates, and getting a crime stat for ramming.
So again, what that's talking about is they're fixing bugs to where when you log out and your food is at 50% and your water's at 50%, when you log back in, your food is going to be at 50%. It's going to be at and your water is going to be at 50%. Because normally what happened before, you log back in, your food and your water was back at 100%. So you didn't have to worry about eating or drinking. They fix that now. Or to some people, they're not going to like that. They're going to hate that. But that's basically what they did here. There was also another instant where if you hit a dead body or rammed a dead body or something like that, it would still give you a crime stat, or it would give you a crime stat, I should say. And that shouldn't be a thing. So they've pretty much supposedly fixed that as well. Again, we're going to have to wait till it hits PU.
In your corpse.
Or hitting your corpse.
Yes, you may now ram your corpse as often as you like, penalty free. We've also got DNA head updates to your player faces that will look better than ever before with improved textures.
They look good.
And you guessed it, moist eyeballs.
Not moist eyeballs.
There's also the FPS weapon animation refactor, where the procedural animations that occur as you run, jump, idle, or just look badass while using the latest from Castec Arms should now feel more natural and aesthetically pleasing. New turret acceleration models so they don't instantly jump to max speed and give the player whiplash anymore.
This I kind of have an issue with. Basically, what they're saying here is when you're in a turret and you go to turn the turret, okay, instead of the turret immediately going like this, there's a delay or a lag, so it kind of the turret, goes, and then it goes quicker. So it starts off slow and then goes quicker. Now, in my opinion, I think that could affect you. That can affect the turret's job. The turret's there to react quick. And, it's going to make it harder for turrets to defend the ships that they are on, or for the people to do that. Now, it could be argued that, that's just the stock motor that the ship comes in. Maybe in the future you'll be able to upgrade the turret control motors to where they react quicker, and you could react quick to it, because you got to think this is a futuristic turret. It's not like a T-90 turret or T-72 tank where your turret's real slow. The turret should react quick, but I'm not sure how this is going to affect turret gameplay. I hope it don't affect it in a very negative way, because that's going to suck.
IFCS quality of life changes, fixes to cluster missiles, ground vehicle signature emission changes, and more that you can learn all about when the patch notes come out.
Cluster missiles.
Mining gadgets, the latest improvement to mining gameplay that allows players to tackle those asteroids that were previously a bit too volatile, or change a variety of circumstances to better suit your loadout and intent when out in the cold wastes, just you and your big rocks. What?
I think the mining gadgets, again, they make the mole. The mole's already not a very profitable ship, really, to be honest. Again, you can take 3 prospectors out, and you can come out better, in profit than just taking a mole out. And what the thing that the mole did have on the prospectors is that it could they have bigger size lasers on there, and could break up bigger rocks possibly than maybe 3 prospectors. But now the mining gadgets have kind of changed. So it's changed to where, even now the prospectors can break up just as big of rocks as a mole can. Which, to me is going, it's not helping the mole out. The Argo mole is not, it's just, hurting it more. So maybe in the future they're going to come out with bigger rocks that the mole can handle, that the prospectors, multiple prospectors, cannot handle, because prospectors only have size 1 laser heads on them, while the mole has size 2 laser heads on them, and you got a crew of 4. So the profit needs to make sense, in my opinion. It's also going to be based on the skill of the finding on how much inert material you have in the rock versus valuables.
ZOTAC also takes another step forward on Hurston, as the planet is next in line to get a little bit of shade from the sun in the Stanton system. Alpha 317 also brings with it the long-awaited Hull A from Musashi Industrial and Starflight Concern, harbinger of the entire Hull series and
that's MISC.
workhorse of the line.
That's the
Now, I'm supposed to espouse all
acronym.
its virtues here, but really, just look how adorable it is. I just want to give it a little hug.
Pretty little shit.
What a good job it's doing. Note, if I didn't just talk about how adorable it is and wanting to hug it, someone made me re-record this.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're done flying your Hull A low above Microtech's first river and testbed for the new river tech that will roll out across planets and moons in subsequent patches, you can return to port with the biggest feature of Alpha 317 yet, bind to key ATC landing.
Yes, now you can just hit a key.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that MISC continues to be at the industrial forefront with the Expanse refinery vehicle, and that full concept reveal is just around the corner. That little things like ATC bind to key are the quality of life improvements that come through your feedback throughout all of development. And that with ship-to-ship refueling, vendor selling, and quantum under the hood, Alpha 317 is shaping up to be another big step forward in recognizing the full potential of life in the verse. Now that's it for ISC this quarter, but keep an eye out on the robertspaceindustries.com website for info on the 317 release, the upcoming Miss Expanse, as well as a merch sale that's just around the corner. And then hang out with Jeremiah and I one more time right here in LA tomorrow on Twitch ahead of my eventual relocation to the UK. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you next month from there, here, wherever.
That's the kind of Inside Star Citizen I like. It it showed us a new ship called the Expanse, which was amazing, and it's a beautiful, beautiful looking ship. It told us a little bit more about just that we normally get from Star Citizen. So that's kind of Star Citizen Inside. Wait a sec, there's actually more here. Hang on, let me see what's going on. What is this, bloopers?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was loud. Hey, I like my colors. I like my colors. Oh, I almost missed my chair. Have you ever found a critical JIRA assigned to an employee that hasn't worked there for years? Had you ever shown up for a stand-up that no one told you had been canceled? Have you ever had...
Is this about Jared's
on stage
glory?
Wouldn't even boot up in the presentation room? What kind of games did you invent as a kid? Have you ever shown up to a stand-up and you were the only one there? Have you ever gotten lost in a gaming convention? Have you ever clicked send halfway through a... I forgot what I was supposed to say here. Have you ever lit a scene only to discover you're 300% over the entity budget? Have you ever killed a man in the dead of winter just to watch the steam rise from his wounds?
What is this?
Have you ever been tempted to set all your JIRAs to resolved and just make a run for it? Nope, that's not good. I don't remember the last time I stood up for a stand-up. You tell us this is going to be a good start. I got a trophy for spaceships. I gave it to myself. I'm going to have to get a haircut at some point. I'm just wasting camera time.
Oh, he cut his hair. What?
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? They gave me a special fashion hoodie. Sometimes I just stick my fingers under my arms. Oh, the weather outside is weather. Honestly, I'm just getting really bad at this. Have you ever found 4 copies of the same Confluence page and had no idea which was the updated one? Did you know the human head weighs just 14 pounds? Just mine. It's been a long road. I'd never done a crazy thing in my life before that night. Do you have a JIRA for that?
All right. Anyways, thank you guys for joining this episode of Thought Factory. Again, if you guys are interested in talking with us or whatnot, please join our Discord. The link is in the description below. And you guys have a good one night. Stay safe.